Watching Liquid Lunch on Biz TV. I'm John Tobacco, coming to you from the Corona Bunker Studios in my living room right here in Staten Island, New York. And, you know, all across the city, all across the country, there's this growing din of defund the police, which makes absolutely no sense. It's already expanded to, as we talked about yesterday, Ilhan Omar, talking about defund everything, break down the whole economic system, burn it to the ground. So, you know, today, you know, they come for your neighbor. Next day they come for another neighbor. Next day they're coming for you. Defund the cops turns into defund the next and the next. And we got to stay very, very cautious. I had on my good buddy, Citizen Scott. He's a conservative artist known for painting these immense, great flag portraits, and he does these amazing portraits of President Donald Trump and other patriotic things. And we had Scott on last week to talk about the Boost the Blue process, that the Boost the Blue morale rally last night that happened right here in Staten Island, New York. And as there are people hoarding everywhere to defund the police, in one little county, in this crazy rotten apple, Staten Island, New York, hundreds of people came out to support the Boost the Blue rally. And the guy we need most fighting for us in this city and in the state legislature, the grand poobah of all Staten Island elected officials right now, my good buddy Andrew Lanza was on hand. He's a New York State senator. He's a former prosecutor. Okay, and Senator Lanza, I caught up with him last night at the Boost the Blue rally. Now, I will tell you, there was so many people. People were honking their horns and everything else. So the audios, you got to listen up. But take a look, and I'm going to show you a few more excerpts, because this is a guy that we got to think about getting at the forefront of this thing, because he's with the cops, and he was a prosecutor. So check this out. All right, what's up, Liquid Lunch? I'm out on the streets tonight, yep, in my home borough, Staten Island. We're hitting the streets to support the blue. This isn't anything to do with anti-BLM. Our cops are getting beat down to the ground. They need their morale boosted. Great friend of Liquid Lunch, Scott Lebedo, put together this Boost the Blue morale rally. I call it a morale. And we're lucky enough to find the greatest advocate in our community, law and order man himself, once a prosecutor, an attorney, and our state senator, Andrew Lanza.
Well,
how great is this?
This is awesome. You know, to see the turnout here. We're standing in front of the 122nd Police Precinct here on Staten Island. To see the turnout both here on the sidewalk as cars that have gone by for the last 2 hours, showing their support for the police department. John, I know you. Look at this. This is awesome.
All right. The crowd was getting wild. They were doing chanting, but I did have some time to get some much better audio. But and we're gonna talk about that. I got some more clips from Andrew Lanza and talk about a lot of things. The big breaking news today, and again, this show right here, Liquid Lunch, is where the fake news ends and the real news begins. And we're trying to be one of the voices who brings people the real stuff and breaks it down the real way. And when the president's wrong, I say it. When the president's right, I say it. Here's what's going down. Supreme Court comes down with two big decisions today, and it's a split for the president, okay? Supreme Court comes down. There's this case rattling around where, and we're going to talk about this guy in a later segment today, but here in New York, our Manhattan District Attorney, Cyrus Vance Jr., okay, a guy who gives sweet deals to all his buddies who kick into his campaign. He takes money that's forfeited from people in bad cases that actually get overturned, and he uses the forfeiture money to take himself on some beautiful trip, pricey trips, is what one audit said. And at the same time, he doesn't want to prosecute Harvey Weinstein. He doesn't want to prosecute Jeffrey Epstein. Sweetheart deal to a Columbia University gynecologist who allegedly, or at least had 20 women bring charges against him, including former presidential candidate Andrew Yang's wife, Okay, it got some acclaim. Actually, the public advocate here in New York came out and asked for an investigation. The guy got a sweetheart deal where he, basically got no jail time for 20 sexual assaults. But Cy Vance doesn't have time for that. What he has time for is to bring a case with the New York State Attorney General's office against Trump's accounting firm and Trump's bank from 10 years ago because they want to uncover his tax returns. So here's Cyrus Vance, okay, alleging that for some reason he's got the time, resources, and money to go after the president's tax returns for 10 years. And at the same time, he doesn't want to prosecute people who kick into his campaign. So maybe Trump wants to throw 10 grand into his campaign because he's struggling. He's only raised 25 grand so far. He's way, way, way outraised by his opponents in this race. And there is a massive amount of corruption going on in the New York City DA's office, and someone has to talk about it. Okay, hopefully I'm going to be one of those voices. I actually talked to Andrew Lanza about this exact topic, a guy who worked in the New York City DA's office as a prosecutor, okay? And you're going to be shocked to hear what even a politician who calls it like he sees it, he's a regular guy like us, but they usually know how to mince their words a little better so, they can protect their colleagues. You're going to be shocked by what Lanza had to say about this, but let me go on. In a 7-2 vote, the Supreme Court kicked it back to the lower court and said, hey, look, the president alleged, I have full immunity from any prosecutions because the Department of Justice won't bring charges against the president. It's a rule. It was a broad argument that he was using. Supreme Court said, no, you're not completely immune. So now the case goes back to Vance. Okay, now he has to actually prove that he has a case. And then as part of the discovery, he can ask for these things. And then in a very coyly worded document, they suggest that the president still has all the remedies available to him to fight the subpoena or quash the subpoenas again. So this could drag on for months, but let's keep our eye on how much money and resources the New York City DA's office has to go after the president's tax returns from 10 years ago. But at the same time, they're not prosecuting people who vandalize St. Patrick's Cathedral. They're not prosecuting people who are looting and rioting in the streets. They're releasing people. It's just absolute mayhem. And the cops in New York have lost it so much that they're actually tweeting, where is Cyrus Vance? We have a tremendous amount of shootings going on, 112 shootings in like the last week, I think. And the cops are saying, where's Vance? He's not out at the shooting scene. Nobody's here asking for victim or who's investigating. Why aren't we bringing these people to justice? But at the same time, we're trying to go after the president's tax return. So lots of craziness going on, that's for sure. Right after this, I'm going to do something that we've never done before. We're short a couple of guests today, and I got all my friends out there in TV land and in social media land who watch the show every day. And I am going to open the Zoom room. You send us a message if you want to join the show, you want to ask a question. It's not a segment. It's like a call-in to a radio show.
Actually, John, the best way to do this would be to send me an email to me, Nico, N-I-C-O, at liquidlunchtv.com.
Okay, good.
If you guys want to join us, I'll send you the Zoom link directly.
Yeah, we can't put it out public because then we'll have every maniac on earth, trying to zoom in and say dirty words. But all right.
Exactly.
Thank you for that, Nico. We should put this camera right here on you and Jess, and then like when you start talking, you can just cut to that camera. This way, it doesn't sound like some unknown person is just coming in like the voice of God or something, But he is very godlike. That I can tell you. Shoulder.